You know, one thing I've noticed is that when I did the bad habits, I hated myself. When I did things that were bad for me, I hated myself. Like, logically, that makes sense. And when I did the good habits, I actually liked myself. Because when I was doing the good habits, I was actually prioritizing my future self. I was making life better in the future. When I did the bad habits, I was making life good right now, but in the future, I was becoming weaker. And so in this video, I'm going to tell you 6 bad habits which have kept me weak. And you can see which ones relate to you. The first bad habit that has kept me weak is video games. And a lot of people, a lot of nerds get angry when you start talking about video games in a bad way, because they all start talking, they bring up the most ridiculous things like hand-eye coordination. Bear in mind, these guys don't go outside. They only use their hands to hold their controller and grab their meat to fap. They don't need their hands and hand-eye coordination for anything else. So any guy who says, oh yeah, but I play video game, hand-eye coordination and muscle memory, they don't. Muscle memory to go like this, yeah? Is that what it is? Flipping loser. See, the reason I get angry when it comes to these excuses that video gamers throw is because I use the exact same ones. Hand-eye coordination for what? For what? Be honest, what do you need hand-eye coordination for? You don't go outside. You're not playing goalkeeper in football, or like Americans call it soccer. Like, you don't play sport, so you don't even, like, I'm being deadly serious. The only 3 things you use your hands for is to hold your controller, to hold your phone, and to fap. Second thing about video games is that it gives you a false sense of achievement. It gives you the feeling that you're making progress, but once you turn off the video game in the real world, you remember that you're actually a loser, and that's just horrid. And the third thing, which not many people talk about, it is just the fact that video games will drain your bank account. Because could you imagine buying V-Bucks or like Rocket League credits because the Titanium White Fennec came out in the item shop? Like, you're gonna buy that. You're gonna buy that. I would. And if you don't, you're kind of stupid. I got a Titanium White Octane from a random import drop. Just saying. Just saying. So, the way I would go about quitting video games is by replacing it with something which also gives you a feeling of progress, but specifically in the real world. So, for example, most people replace video games with going to the gym, because it still gives you that feeling of progress, because you'll see your physique change, you'll see your lifts going up in the gym, you'll see you getting stronger because you can lift heavier weights. And that's what I would personally do to replace video game addiction. By the way, my name's Alfie. I help young men transform their lives through self-improvement. If you're interested, hit subscribe. The second thing that kept me weak is social media. Because on social media, you just waste so much time on there. It's actually magical how they can do it. Like, you'll go on to Instagram or TikTok for one purpose, or you think it's one purpose, and you'll get distracted by something which just catches your eye, and then you're on a scroll, and then you've been on the app for 30 minutes when your intention was just to see like your friend's story or something. Also, social media is very, very over sexualized. Like, you would go on any social media to see some woman booty naked, basically, or like borderline, like we're getting there, you know what I mean? It's rumbonculous, bro. It's out of order, bro. And comparison, because if you're not seeing butt booty naked women, you're probably seeing butt booty naked men, and then you're gonna compare the butt booty naked men you see to yourself, and you don't look like those butt booty naked men online who are being with the butt booty naked women online that you want. Do you get what I was saying? So, basically, social media for the average individual is probably not a good idea. I would get rid of it. How would I get rid of it? Honestly, I'd just delete them. Like, there's not much more to say. Delete your account. Get off of the app. Or you could do willpower training. It's weird. It's weird. I would delete them, just get rid of them, and then just resist any temptation to go back on the app. And if you do eventually re-download the app, it's fine. Just remember that like you should stay off of that as much as possible. Forget all these like app timers. You know how some people set an app timer for like 1 hour? Everyone who sets an app timer extends the time. I do as well. If I put a timer on for how long I can watch YouTube, guarantee once that timer's up, you know what I'm gonna do? Extend the time. Almost get angry at it that it's wastes so much time, energy, mental drainage. You start comparing yourself to big men, and then like but big booty women, and it's just not good for you. It's just not good for your brain. The third bad habit, which you should stop doing, is watching porn. Because porn is going to destroy your brain. It just is. I think it's pretty obvious because everyone's talking about how bad porn is for you now. But one of the things I want to touch on is how much porn makes you feel like a loser. And how paranoid it makes you. Because you know when you've been watching porn, yeah, you feel like everyone knows. Don't lie, you feel like everyone knows, or you're like one mess up away from getting caught. You feel like you get thoughts about like, oh, but what if parents can see my internet history? What if like they hack into the mainframe? What if my internet history gets leaked? So like you start deep in it, you know what I mean? And you go into school and it's like, who knows? And it's just like you bring this weird energy when you've been a fapper. But when you're not a fapper, at least when you're not a consistent fapper, it's like you walk in and you're just chill. Because it's like, it's almost like weight is lifted off your shoulders. I don't know how to explain it, but if you've quit porn, you'll understand. How do we quit porn? You already know a lot about porn, so I'm not going to yap on about how porn is corrupting the masculine youth and all that. Like, you know all of that already, right? How do you quit porn? The way I would go about it is by reducing it over time. Because with a porn addiction, most likely you've built up over time. You didn't like the first time, if you can remember the first time you watched porn, you didn't like watch it for the first time and then like fap 6 times in the same day, did you? You didn't even fap, you just like looked at like boobs for the first time. You're like, whoa! And then over time, you're like, I want to see your boobs again. Boom, 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 boom. And now, like, you're watching mad things. So we got to reduce it over time. And just, like, month by month, reduce how many days of the month you watch it. So say if you watch every day of the month, progress for you would be this month or next month, depending on when you're watching this. Literally just reduce it by 2 days, 4 days of the month. So if it was like 30 days of a month, you reduce it to like 26 days of the month. And then from there, if you can maintain that easily, you go down more and down more and down more and down more. And then soon you're chilling basically. Fourth thing that kept me weak, and this one is a key thing, is having a bad diet. Like having a pot noodle diet, bro. I'm talking like you live like a tramp. Like, when you have a bad diet, your life is just gonna go topsy-turvy, bro. Keeping it a bean. Like, when you start eating healthier, you'll know, because every area of your life will just get better. Like, there'll be, like, sunshines and rainbows, no storm clouds, there won't be rain. You know, like that, Spider-Man Web of Shadows meme where Spider-Man's walking with his head down. You won't feel like that anymore. When you've got a good diet, you won't feel like that. When you have a bad diet, you essentially have a bad life. When you have a bad diet, pretty much everything gets worse. I'm being real with you. When you get a good diet, you'll know. So how would I go about getting a better diet? I wouldn't try and add stuff in. I'd try and take stuff out. So honestly, just remove some of the bad stuff. You could remove an ice cream, or like, for example, my school used to sell us sugar waffles, which had like 23, 24 grams of sugar. And just for context, 3 grams of sugar is a teaspoon. So 24 is 8. And I was having that in the morning. And then I'd go home have like 18 grams of sugar, and then like, you know, I was having a lot, right? You find a way to get rid of that waffle, replace it with a sausage bomb or something, replace the ice cream with grapes or fruit, because fruit is sweet, by the way. If you get like green grapes or red grapes, whichever one you prefer, I actually like them both, but that's not the point. If you get like mangoes or something, that still tastes sweet, that still tastes nice, but it's healthier than having like some dirty processed ice cream. And then once you've removed the bad stuff, that's when you actually swap the word remove for the word replace. So replace the ice cream with the sweet fruits, replace the waffle with like toast or something. Do you know what I mean? The fifth thing that kept me weak is being ungrateful, because when you're ungrateful, you can't appreciate the YouTuber giving you advice. You can't appreciate the smaller things in life. You can't appreciate the weather outside. Honestly, most people are, oh yay, it's good weather today, but they don't actually think about it. I look outside, it's what time is it? It's 7:45 right now. In normal people, that's 1945, because I quarter to who the hell says that? You can't appreciate like just some simpler things in life. So how do you start being more grateful? You start doing something called gratitude journaling, which is basically where you need to write it down somewhere on your phone or on a pen and piece of paper. I would do it on a pen and piece of paper. It's like it gives 10 times EXP. So just do it on a pen and piece of paper. It's not hard. No one cares if your handwriting's bad, by the way. You don't even need to read it back. You just need to write it to gain the XP. If you can read it, great, bonus points. But if not, just write it on a pen and piece of paper. It's not rocket science, bro. I'm not asking for an essay. I'm asking for you to say, I'm grateful for my new clothes. I'm grateful for this outfit because I wear it often and I like it. Like, that's all you gotta write down. If you can't do that on a pen and piece of paper, I want to edit you off of Skybase. Just saying, because that's like bare minimum human standard, bro. The sixth thing that kept me weak was not being mindful and present. Presence is almost like when you have no thoughts in your mind. You know, when you're in a social situation and you're just in the zone, like you've got no thoughts in your head, you're just like, no thoughts are going by, you're just chilling. That's what it feels like to be mindful. That's what it feels like to be present. When you're not present, that's when you've got thoughts in your mind whilst like you're talking to someone and you're not actually focused on the conversation. And I'm going to put a little dark scenario into your head. I want you to imagine this is the last conversation you're going to have with your family. The next conversation you have is going to be the last one you have with your family, because they're going to go back to the lobby. In that moment, you will have thoughts in your mind. You won't be present. You won't be mindful. And so whilst they're talking to you, telling you their life story or whatever, or you're asking like deep, important questions, you're thinking about what you want to eat for dinner. You're thinking if your squad's died or if they got the victory royale. You're sat there thinking about the next Fortnite items. Like, you're thinking about irrelevant things instead of being focused on them. And the truth is, your parents can tell when you're not listening. Everyone can tell when you're not listening. Not just parents, but literally everyone. You think you're slick. Oh no, I can do both. I can look into their eyes, pretend I'm present whilst thinking about Rocket League. No, you can't. People can tell when you're not listening. And the truth is, people don't like that. If I can tell that you're not listening when I'm speaking to you, or you don't look it, I don't want to speak to you. I'll end the conversation as quick as possible, and I'll just get out of there, because why should I talk to you if you're not even going to listen? You need to prevent this mind wandering, because it'll destroy you mentally. This is the most important thing. And so how do we cure mind wandering? How do we become more present and mindful? We do it through meditation, which is basically just focusing on the breath. Bare people's start saying, oh, like when you hear meditation, they start getting defensive. All I'm asking you to do is not like magical. There's no like religion to it. It's just mindfulness meditation. It's just focusing on the breath. You focusing on inhaling and exhaling. So you just do that for a period of time and you're meditating. Your brain will wander, your mind will wander, and that's what we want to happen. This is how you're going to gain meditation XP. Our mind is going to wander, and then when you notice that your mind is wandering, bring it back onto the breath, bring the focus back to the breath, and that is how you'll gain some meditation XP. You do that over time, and there's like when you become a level 1 meditator, you're good, bro. It's not even that hard to get to level 1, but once you're a level 1 meditator, you're good. You can like have a conversation with someone and actually focus. You can watch a YouTube video and not have this urge to flip in like just like glitch, bro. You just like, honestly, when you're brain dead, you'll glitch. When you're not a meditator, honestly, your brain will just glitch. The truth is, the way to get rid of all of these bad habits is by improving your mental health, because when you have better mental health, you won't need these artificial solutions. You won't need these vices. You won't do the bad habits as much. And how you improve your mental health is through the things I already talked about. Gratitude journaling and meditating are the big ones. I've already got videos to these on my channel, which you can go and look at. If you want more self-improvement content from a small self-improvement YouTuber, hit the subscribe button below. Safe.